Hi everyone, welcome to my live, and it's my first ever solo live. So be kind and please comment if you are here and you're watching. And yeah, welcome to my channel. So tonight I'm going to be doing some reading sprints, and this is for the Immune Readalong. So um, the Immune Readalong is Tandem Collective's first ever YouTube read-along, and I've done a previous Tandem Collective read-along over on Instagram. It was really fun, and so I thought I would join in with this one, and Tandem have very kindly sponsored this live, so thank you very much, Tandem, for that, and thank you for this lovely book which I will be reading tonight, which is Immune by Philipp Dettmer. So yeah, so we're going to be doing some reading sprints. I'm going to be talking a little bit about Immune while I'm reading it. Hopefully some of you that are here are also reading Immune for the read along. And yeah, I thought we'd do some 20-minute sprints in a little while, and chat between each of the sort of 20-minute sprints. So we'll probably be here for an hour and a bit, maybe. See how we get on with the pages for today. So let's see. Got a couple of comments. Hi, Ange. Ange is here. The lovely Ange is joining in with Tandem's read along and reading Immune. So let me know, Ange, if you're going to be reading Immune tonight, because that will be good to hear. And Ange's channel, definitely check it out. It's going to be in the description down below, along with all the other channels who are taking part. And there's also a link down there if you want to join in with any of the read-along challenges. And if you would like to get yourself a copy of this beautiful book, then there is also a link in the description to buy one. So yeah, let's see who else we've got here. We've got Danny. Hi, Danny. Thank you very much for joining. And Tandem are here. Hi, everyone. And Alice, thank you for joining there. And we've got Jason's just popped in to say hi. He's got to get back to work now. Thank you so much for stopping by, Jason. That's really kind of you. And see, Mary is here. So Mary says, I don't know anything about Immune. I just got a notification and now I'm here. That's fine, Mary. You can read along. You can read any book tonight in the sprints. It's not just Immune read along sprints. It's going to be normal reading sprints. So let me know in the comments what you're planning to read, if you've got a book with you, or if you're doing something else productive during the sprints, let me know and we can chat. So also got Sarah from Your Tree Shelf. Sarah's channel is also linked in the description. She's also joining the Immune read along. And yeah, reading this. Are you reading this book tonight, Sarah? Let me know. And so she's catching up with Immune. So yeah, I have saved my pages for today of Immune for the reading sprints. And I didn't think I'd be saying this about a science book, because Immune is essentially a guide to the immune system, which is incredibly complicated, but it's being told in a really sort of fun way at the moment. Really enjoyed the pages so far that we've read. And today's pages, it's day 4 of the read along. So we're going to be reading chapter 9, which is Inflammation Playing with Fire. There's some wonderful illustrations in this book. I'm going to be getting to this one today. I'm just getting used to where my camera is. And I'm also going to be reading chapter 10, which is Naked, Blind and Afraid, How Do Cells Know Where to Go? And I'm really loving in this book how cells are being described. They're sort of being personified in this, and it's really helping me get a better impression of how the immune system works. So we've also got a chapter today called Smelling the Building Blocks of Life. And I think the final chapter today is chapter 12, The Invisible Killer Army, the Complement System. So it sounds sort of textbooky, but I'm not finding it textbooky at all. I don't know about anybody else who's reading this book or has already read this book. I'm finding it really, really accessible, and I have a GCSE in science from many, many years ago, and that's it. I don't really read science nonfiction normally, but this has been really, really interesting so far. So let's see what everybody else is up to. So Sarah's going to be catching up on today's section as well. When I left off reading this yesterday, I actually didn't want to put it down, and that was the first time it's really happened because I'm enjoying reading it in bite-sized chunks. I sort of wanted to know what was going to happen next. So yeah, I left it on a bit of a feeling that I wanted to carry on yesterday, and I have been reading this in the morning in bed, and this morning I was really, really disappointed I couldn't read my pages, so I'm looking forward to getting into that in a little while. So Mary is sorting some papers, trying to get rid of some stuff, but you think you'll read instead. Why not read for the 20 minutes, Mary? You can always sort out papers in a bit. You're reading Diary of a Nobody. I really, really want to read that. That's on my classics I want to read this year, so I'll be eager to hear what you think of that one. Amelia's here. Amelia's also joining in the Immune Readalong, and you can check out her channel in the description down below. Hi, Amelia. And Sarah says, oh, I like that you've tabbed all the sections. Yeah, I've tabbed my sections today so I can find them really easily. The ones we're reading today are in green, and I've done them in chapters just for today. But for the rest of it, I've tabbed the sections in red, so I know where I'm starting and finishing for the rest of the days of the read along. But I've also got some other tabs that I'll tell you about later that I've been putting in as we go along. I don't often tab things, but I don't often read a science book. So Mary says, I think I should read Immune. It sounds like good information. It is really interesting. I had no idea what my immune system was doing inside me, but it's really, really interesting and informative and accessible. So Jack's here. Hi, Jack. Jack's channel, Spread Book Joy, is also linked in the description down below. Jack's also reading along Immune, and she says it is very readable, and she will be reading today's section as well. So hi, Jack. Thanks for coming, and look forward to chatting to you about that. So what else to say? Yeah, let me know if you're not reading Immune tonight and you are here. Let me know what else you're planning to read in the sprints, and we'll be starting quite soon. Let me see. So yeah, I've never done sprints on my own, so I'm just sort of trying to remember everything I wanted to say. And Tandem Collective are saying intrigued by what the side tabs are. I think I will have a bit of a chat with you about those after the first sprint. So in case I've done some more tabbing, but yeah, I have got a system going sort of. So yeah, oh, I know what else I wanted to say. If you want to grab a drink, get a nice hot drink on the go while we do sprinting, please do, or maybe you've got one already, let me know if you have. And I'm going to be trying a new tea. So might be risky to try it live, but Tandem sent me a lovely sort of immune kit with this book, and it was brilliant because it had 4 different teas in it. One of them was a mint tea, which I already know I really, really like mint tea, but I had 4 options and I'll let you know what I've picked. So there was a nighttime tea, and I didn't want to risk this one in case I get a bit too sleepy on the live. There's a lemon, ginger and manuka honey. I've not tried that one today. I've saved the mint tea in case I need another drink later. And today I've gone with elderberry and echinacea. And echinacea is meant to be really good for, I don't know if the book will say anything about it, but meant to be good boosting your immune system sort of against colds. My mum is always telling me to take echinacea to boost me up against colds. So that's all I know about that. So I'll be trying that tea today. Might still be a bit hot because I've just made it. Good so far. Don't know if I've brewed it for long enough, but it tastes quite good. So yeah, we've got that. And let's have one more comment, and then I think we will try and get the timer up and see if we can do some sprints. So Mary says, so far the Diary of a Nobody is mundane yet very witty. I've heard it's a witty book. And mundane. I really enjoy diary style books, and I think mundane is kind of fine in a diary style. Don't know what you think, Mary. So Ange is going to have a tea, thinking of the mint. I don't want to risk the nighttime one either. Yeah, I think I will fall asleep if I have the nighttime one. And Jack says, I'm glad you didn't do the nighttime tea. It's so potent. Yeah, I think it was your warning, Jack. Jack said it made her very, very sleepy. So I'm going to not have that one today, but I am really keen to find out if it helps me sleep really well one night. So yeah, I think we should do some reading sprints. Hopefully I'll be able to share the timer. Here we go. So if we sprint for 20 minutes and then we'll come back and have another chat, and there'll be at least one more 20-minute sprint after that. So grab your book, grab your cuppa, and I'll see you in 20 minutes. And I'm going to mute myself so that you can read quietly. But yeah, oh, one more comment from Mary. Mary says, I love it so far. I'm going to make some tea and get comfy. Cool. So let's have reading sprints, and let me start the timer. Hopefully that's worked, and I'll see you in 20 minutes. Right, hello, welcome back, everybody. So that was some reading sprints, and yeah, let's talk about how we're getting on. So let me see how people are getting on in the comments. If you've just arrived, we've just done one reading sprint so far for 20 minutes. And yeah, let me know if you're going to be joining in with the next one, what you've been reading, how you got on with your reading in that one if you were reading with us, and we'll see who's here. So Deanne has arrived. Deanne says, hi from Virginia Beach. I'm not reading Immune, however, it looks interesting. It's really, really interesting, and I think I don't think I've actually talked about a science book on my channel before, because I don't think I've read one in the time I've been on YouTube. I don't read as much non-fiction as I read fiction anyway, but I would say that I don't tend to gravitate towards books about science, and in a way, I kind of think that books about the human body would be not for me, just because I feel like they would stress me out or give me information that I don't want to know about. But actually, everything I'm learning so far and reading so far, I'm really, really interested in. And I wanted to read this book in particular because mainly because my immune system is a bit different. I talked about this a bit in my introductory video to this book, and you can see that by clicking on the link in the description down below if you haven't seen that already. And in that video, I unboxed this book and I talked a bit about how I don't have a spleen. So I'm looking forward to reading in this book about what happens when you don't have a spleen. I haven't quite got to that bit yet, but the spleen is a part of the immune system, and therefore I felt like it's a perfect time for me to get to know the immune system a bit more, um, so that I can better understand my health, what happens when the immune system goes wrong, and so on. And actually, I'm finding it so far really, really interesting and refreshing, and it's actually making me feel somewhat reassured about what goes on in your body when there is something to fight off. So, who else do we have here? Um, so BJ Minton, hi, says, hi everybody. Alice, I've only recently discovered your channel and I'm enjoying your videos a lot. Just got notified about your sprints. Immune looks very interesting. I need to find a copy. Excellent. Yes, highly recommend it so far. There is a link to buy the book in the description down below. I don't know if I don't know what country you're in, whether that link will work there, but give it a try. You may be able to find a copy. And yeah, Jack says hi, BJ and Deanne. Raving Reader says hello, hi there. I was so excited to see this pop up. I have a library board meeting, so I can't join for more than a few minutes, but I'm so glad you're hosting this. I'm loving the book thus far. Excellent. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you are enjoying it so far and reading along with us. So we've got, I love the zooming in and out aspects and all the descriptions he gives us to help it all make sense and give us good visuals. Absolutely agree. So one of the things I was going to say about reading Immune so far is that I really, really like is that every so often the author Philipp Dettmer, I don't know how much I've mentioned him yet. So first of all, let me say Philipp Dettmer is the creator of the Kurzgesagt YouTube channel, which is also known as In a Nutshell. And that is a science YouTube explaining all sorts of different concepts in a nutshell. And I'm really, really looking forward to checking out more of the videos over there once I've read Immune, because I didn't really want to spoiler the immune system series of videos for myself before I had read the book. But there's all kinds of science on there, so very interesting. And in the introduction, Philipp Dettmer was talking a bit about well, he made it feel really, really interesting to me, really invested in this book, because he was talking about how he got interested in the immune system, things that have happened to him, and how knowing about the immune system has like reassured him through things that he has been through. So I really, really appreciated that sort of personal insight in there. And I would say that one of the definite highlights of this book is that as you're going along, because I'm not very science-minded at all, but Dettmer gives sort of little summaries every so often, every section, every chapter. You're constantly getting these sort of little reminders of what we've learned, what a small summary of what has happened. So it is very digestible. So Jack is saying, I love the section on what happened when you cut yourself in a minor way. It was written like a battle and I loved it. So fascinating. I just read the section about inflammation. That's what I read as well, Jack. I managed to read chapter 9, which was all about inflammation in the last sprint. But what Jack is talking about is the section that we read yesterday. And that I really, really enjoyed that. I thought it was so visual, and it really almost reads like a novel, because you are sort of following the different cells of the body as kind of characters that have been a bit personified, and they were absolutely battling. And this was just with a minor cut, although it was put me a bit on edge because it was like a nail in the foot, which was a bit but yes, despite that, I really, really enjoyed the sort of battle sequence that followed, where he introduced you to some of the main players in the immune system. So let's have a look and see what everybody says. Oh, Sarah's speeding ahead of me. She's just about to finish the chapter, Smelling the Building Blocks of Life. So in that last go, I read the chapter about inflammation, and there's a really cool picture. Work out where my camera is. A really cool picture about inflammation, and I don't seem to be very good at working out where my camera is, but this book is full of really, really interesting illustrations that sort of tell you more about what he's saying in the chapters. I've moved on to the chapter Naked, Blind and Afraid, How Do Cells Know Where to Go? But I've only just sort of started on that, so I'm not sure how cells know where they want to go yet. So Sarah's a little bit ahead of me. Deanne says, I'm not a big non-fiction reader either, so it's nice to hear that so many are enjoying it. And I live there. You not a big non-fiction reader either. It's good to hear so many are enjoying it and that it has visuals. I love visuals. Yeah, me too. Definitely need the visuals, and I definitely need the sort of repetition. I think that even if you don't know pretty much anything about science, that this book would suit you, hopefully, because it is really explaining it to me in a way that I can understand. I think it is going to get very into depth, but because it's being introduced to us sort of a little bit at a time, I'm finding it really, really enjoyable to read. My husband's desperate to get his hands on it, but I haven't let him have a go with the book yet because I've been too busy reading it. But he's had a couple of bits of it that I've sort of been reading in bed and talked to him about, and yeah, he's really eager to have a turn reading it. So yeah, Jack has just read about mast cells. I read about mast cells. They affect me greatly as I have ridiculous reactions to mosquito bites, which is why I now carry an EpiPen. Yes, I was thinking about sort of allergies and what he's saying about mast cells, which obviously react in the extreme, the book was saying, to sort of things like mosquito bites. So Jack, that bit is really, really relevant to you. That's really interesting. Yeah, I found the chapter about inflammation interesting, and the main thing I found interesting was that he was basically saying that I like the way that Dettmer is also saying that this science will change, that people are still investigating things all the time, and that we may find out more. He says, we'll know in a few years if mast cells deserve more love. So they're obviously not very loved at the moment. But yes, I thought it was very interesting that basically, chronic inflammation is the cause of a lot of different issues. Dropping my earbud out of my ear. Um, a lot of different issues for different people and can cause real problems. But when inflammation goes right within the immune system response, it's really, really helpful to us. So, Raving Reader, thank you, Raving Reader. That's fantastic. I'm glad you joined us, and thank you for saying that I'm amazing. And Your True Self says, hi and bye, Karen. I think that's maybe Raving Reader. Ange says, I'm a little bit behind, so looking forward to that. Yeah, it's good. And hi and bye, Karen, as well. In the southern US, check the library website and they have a copy. Yay, that's brilliant. Love to be able to get books from the library, and this is a really, really good one. I think that it's good to sort of read over a space of time. I certainly wouldn't probably be able to sit down and read it all in one go because it would be information overload, but I'm really enjoying the pace we're going at in the readathon. And Deanne says she's going to check her library too. Good idea. Always go to the library, I say. And Marie says, hi from South Germany. I thought about buying Immune today, but I thought I'd wait and see if you like it. So far, it sounds really interesting. It is. I'm really, really enjoying it so far. So, yeah. What else was I going to say? Oh, Sarah says, I'm hoping more comes up about inflammation and chronic illness, as it's really fascinating and affects mental health too. Absolutely agree. Yeah, I think chronic illness is definitely an issue that will be really, really relevant to me if it's coming up in here. And yeah, so before we do a bit more sprinting, which I think we should get on to any minute, because I've been rambling on for quite a while. Maybe I will tell you about the tabs that I've done after the sprints, because we've been talking for quite a while. So yeah, I think we're going to read for 20 more minutes, and yeah, let's sprint for 20 more minutes. I'll try and get the timer back up, and yeah, we'll see how we get on. And I'm going to be hoping to probably finish off the chapters for today in this sprint, but we will see. And yeah, do join in and read whatever you're reading at the moment. Let's see if we can get started. And yeah, I'll see you in 20 minutes. Hello. Right, we are back, and yeah, how did you get on with reading? So, yeah, while you let me know what you've been reading, and even if you're not reading Immune, obviously let me know what books are you reading. Even if you weren't reading in the sprints, let me know what you're reading at the moment because I'm curious. Or what you were getting up to in the sprints, if you were sorting something out or working, I don't know. But yes, so I just finished chapter 11, which was all about smelling the building blocks of life in the immune system. And I'm going to try much harder to hold up this picture, which is of receptors. And the receptors, I really can't get the hang of where my camera is. But yeah, just to say that the pictures in this book are absolutely stunning. So yeah, highly recommend those. And yeah, Jack said I was much slower this sprint. I think I was slower on the first one because I kept thinking about the live rather than taking in the information. So I had to read a few things again and again, but this time I was a little bit quicker. I read chapter 10, most of chapter 10, all of chapter 11, and I've just got chapter 12 to read tonight. So if you do want one more sprint, let me know because we could go for another 15 or 20 minutes. I was planning for definitely 2, but I'm not quite ready to go to sleep yet. That tea doesn't send you off to sleep, so it's good. So yeah, let me know if you want to sprint more, and yeah, let me know how you were getting on. So let's see what other comments we've had. We've had Jem. Hi, Jem. And Jem says, still out for dinner, having dessert shortly. She's going to try and inhale it to make the next sprint. So yeah, Gemma's channel, do check that out in the description down below as well. She is also reading Immune with the Readalong. And here is Elementary, my dear, also one of our lovely Immune Readalong fellow YouTubers, and the link to her channel is in the description down below. So hi, and yeah, let's see what the new comments say. So BJ Minton has been reading a bit of Triptych by Karen Slaughter and also read the intro to Immune on Libby. Excellent. What did you think of the intro, and also what do you think of Triptych? Because I enjoyed that book by Karen Slaughter, but it's the first Will Trent book, isn't it? And that series came after the series that I really, really like, which is the Grant County series. So let me know what you're thinking so far. I did enjoy that book, definitely. Mary has put a hold on Immune from her library, and she is halfway through her book. Excellent. Well done, Mary. And that was Diary of a Nobody, wasn't it? So has it become less mundane, more witty? How are you getting on? And Deanne says, I'm reading The Storm Sister. It's part of the Seven Sisters series by Lucinda Riley. Now, those are very, very large books. I was looking at some of those in the library the other day, and some of them are absolute doorstops, aren't they? So I don't know which one The Storm Sister is. How far are you into the Seven Sisters series, Deanne? Let us know which number that one is, because yeah, I get a bit put off by size. And Harry has joined. Harry joined me during the last sprint. He's been sitting on the arm of the chair here, so you can't quite see him, I don't think, when he sits forward. But yeah, my cat Harry does make some appearances in videos if you've not been on my channel for very long. So yeah, only managed a couple of pages of Immune, but did get dinner sorted. Excellent, very, very important. I'm glad you've got your dinner sorted. And how are you finding Immune? Let me know. Jack says, I'm happy to sprint more, want to get my pages read this evening. I feel the same because I've got one more chapter to go. It seems a shame not to read it here with you, lovely people. So yeah, we'll go for another sprint in a moment. Sarah's finished today's section, speeding through, Sarah. I wish compliment was explained like this in lectures. This is what the next chapter is going to be about, the complement system. And Sarah is a doctor, so you have insider knowledge, Sarah, but I wish complement was explained like this in lectures. I understand it for the first time. Excellent. That is good to know. And yeah, I felt similarly on PGCE. I'm not really a science or maths brained person at all. And when I did a PGCE to train to be a teacher, that was the first time I understood some maths things I just felt had never really made any sense to me at school. And yeah, reading a book that explains maths to PGCE students, I finally understood some of the concepts that I should have understood at school years ago. So Sarah also says good summaries and pictures still. I absolutely agree. BJ Minton says, I love Slaughter, but I like Grant County more, same. The intro of Immune is very readable. Good, yeah. I absolutely loved the introduction. It really got me excited for the book. It gives you a bit of insight into the author, and I'm always fascinated to know why an author has decided to write a particular book. And he really does explain what led him to be so interested in the immune system, what led him to start the Kurzgesagt YouTube channel, and how his interest in the immune system has only increased over time. So that was interesting. And Jack says, hi, Harry. Yeah, he is here. I think you can see just part of him, but if I stroke him, he'll probably turn nasty, so we won't do that. So Deanne says, The Storm Sisters, the second book in the series. Even though they're slightly large, they are easy reads. I just borrowed Immune on Libby. Fantastic. Absolutely love borrowing things on Libby. So I hope you really, really enjoy it. Everybody who said that they're planning to borrow or get hold of a copy of Immune, highly recommend that you do that. And obviously I am only about a third of the way through the book, but once we have finished this read along, which is going on for 13 days, we're reading this for, and when it's finished, there will absolutely be a full review coming to my channel about it. Before we sprint again, I'll tell you quickly about the tabs, because I know somebody said earlier that they really want to hear about the tabs. So what have I been doing? I have put a pink tab in if it's something I really, really wanted to know something more about. So I've got one of those in the introduction because there was an organ was introduced that I don't know if I've heard of. Really intrigued, want to find out more. So I put a pink tab in there to remind myself I want to know more. I've put yellow tabs in where I found a bit that was like really super relevant to me, that really, really meant something to me. And most of these are orange tabs because I've put orange tabs just in little bits that I wanted to remind myself that I'd really enjoyed, so that I can look back on the book and give you a review at the end, and also so I could talk about it a bit more. But yeah, it's been really interesting. I've tabbed it a little bit more tonight. There was a couple of things that I was really enjoying and found really interesting. And one of them was the summary about cells. I didn't really know before reading this today. Sounds silly, but I didn't really know how cells get about. If they can't see, how are they doing these things? But it basically explained that cells have millions of noses on their outside that are called receptors. That was the picture I was trying to show you a little bit ago. I'm having a lot of trouble with my earbuds. And they communicate by releasing proteins that carry information, cytokines. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation, but we'll go with it. So basically, the cells seem to be able to find their way about through receptors and kind of like sense of smell, and smelling out the bacterias and going to them. And there was a really interesting bit actually a couple of pages away about sort of puzzle pieces. And all of these analogies are making the science really clear to me, which is good. Deanne says it's a beautiful book. It's a really, really stunning book. I keep holding it up on the wrong side, but yeah, so beautiful and really gorgeous end papers. The illustrations in here are just absolutely fabulous. So that's one of the ones from today. So yes, I think we will have another quick sprint, and let's go for 20 minutes again, just because I've got a 20-minute timer. We're very likely to get visits from Harry because 9:15 is the time that he has decided is his food time. So I won't say the name of the meal because he will start wanting it a lot. So if we get a cat right here staring at me during the sprints, you'll know why. So yeah, when we get back, let me know how you're getting on with your reading. And yeah, I'd love to hear from you. So keep commenting, and I'll see you in 20 minutes. Let's see if we can get the timer started. And yeah, last sprint, everybody. Here we go. Okay, we're back. How did everyone's sprinting go? Did you read lots of pages? Have you read any of Immune? If you are joining in with the readathon, if you're joining in with the read along, sorry, how did you get on with today's pages? I've just finished the last chapter of the pages for today, and yeah, still really enjoying it. Very interesting. As Sarah said in the comments a little while ago, the stuff about the complement system is really clear and very interesting. So got some more comments. Abby's popped in. Abby of Pelennor is also one of the lovely people participating in this read along. Do check out her channel in the links down below. I've linked everybody in the description who is joining in with the Immune read along, and yeah, do go and check out Abby's channel if you haven't already. Hi Abby, sprints are going okay, thank you. BJ Minton says, I'm also enjoying A Quiet Life in the Country by Kinley. The banter in this cozy is fun, especially after a bit of slaughter. Definitely probably need a cozy something or other to balance out Karen Slaughter, I agree. Also finished chapter 1 of our assignment. Maybe I can catch up soon. So Jack says, I have the last chapter left, just started it. So yeah, I really enjoyed today's chapters. The tomorrow's pages, looking ahead on the read along, tomorrow's pages we've got a chapter about cell intelligence, and this, without spoiling it for Jack because, and anyone else who's reading along, the end of that chapter was a bit of a cliffhanger. It sounds really weird to be saying a cliffhanger in a non-fiction book, but yeah, it was a bit of a cliffhanger, and I think the situation is about to escalate. So yeah, I just thought I'd show you this picture if I can get it on the camera, because yeah, it was really interesting, all about the immune system and the complement system, and this sort of was 101 on the whole immune system that we've been learning about so far in the first sort of 80 pages of the book. So really handy, very quick guide on that page there. So yeah, what has Sarah been reading? I've been reading 1,500 Miles from the Sun, a really heartwarming queer YA novel. Loving it so far. That sounds brilliant. I haven't actually, don't think I've actually heard of that one, Sarah. So I'll be really interested to hear when you talk about that on your channel as well. And Lizzie from Elementary, my dear, says, I've read a couple of the chapters on bacteria and immune. I'm a bit behind. Love the various analogies. They're so clear and engaging. Completely agree, Lizzie. I'm finding it really clear, and like the analogies are just getting me so engaged with it. Visualizing sort of the immune system as like this battle stations really is really helping me to picture what's going on in your body when something happens. So yeah, I think probably that is enough sprinting for today. It's getting definitely towards bedtime here in the UK, and Harry, as I've said, has decided it's time for him to have food. So he was interfering quite a bit with that last sprint. So yeah, I think I will be going shortly. So just let me know in the comments any further thoughts. And yeah, I just wanted to say before I go, thanks to Tandem and to Harder Books for sending me this book, for inviting me to be part of the readathon, the read along. I keep calling it the wrong thing. So don't forget, a lot of people have told me in the chat today that they're planning to get hold of the book, or have ordered the book from the library or checked it out on Libby. If you are doing that, don't forget that you can check out the links in the description down below. There is a link to actually join in with the read along as we do it. Plenty of time to catch up. It's going to be running for 13 days total, and we only started on Saturday. So do check out the link to Tandem's sort of guide to this read along, because it will tell you how many pages we're reading each day. And obviously that's just a guideline, read it at your own pace. There's also some lovely creative challenges on there that you can have a look at if you would like to. So definitely do check that out if you're planning to read the book. Even if you're not planning to read the book with us on the read along, do check that out if you're planning to read the book in future, because you might find some fun challenge cards to have a look at. So yeah, let me know what you think. Would you read this book? Are you into non-fiction, science non-fiction? If you're watching this afterwards, do leave me a comment just to let me know what you think about this book, Immune, or about any of the other books you've been reading tonight. And there are some more upcoming live shows on Immune, not on my channel, they are on two other lovely hosts' channels. And the next live for the Immune Read Along will be over on Jack's channel, Spread Book Joy, and Jack is in the comments again here. So thanks for hosting, Alice. Harry wants his dinner. Yeah, I have to say that word quietly or he will really perk up. I've had Pedro trying to shove the book out of the way because he wants strokes. Harry was definitely trying to shove I think he was trying to shove the whole computer over at one point there. So he's definitely getting hungry. But yes, the next live shows, Jack is hosting the next live show. It's over on Spread Book Joy. So do go over and check out Jack's channel and look out for that. That's going to be on Saturday, 21st of January at 6 o'clock. That's UK time, 6 p.m. So yeah, check that one out. And the final live will be on Victoria's channel, What Victoria Read, and that's on Sunday, the 22nd of January at 11 a.m. So if you like reading sprints and you're liking hearing about the book Immune, do check out those lives as well. They're all going on. And yeah, so what other comments have we got before we go? So BJ Minson says, thank you, nice to visit with everybody. Nice to see you, BJ Minson, thank you for coming. And Tandem Collective say, thanks so much, Alice. Can't wait to hear what you and the rest of the read-alongers think of the next section. I absolutely can't wait for tomorrow's section, because this is going to be the section that has got stuff about the spleen. And as I've mentioned, I don't have a spleen. So yeah, tomorrow, after we've read chapter 13, we're getting on to chapter 14, Superhighways and Megacities, which I'm very, very interested in, because it has this diagram of the lymphatic system, and the lymphatic system is what the spleen is part of. So I'm really looking forward to learning more about that, and I'm hoping he's going to tell us a bit about what happens when you don't have a spleen, because that's me. So Sarah says, thanks so much for hosting. And it says, thanks, Alice. Thank you, Sarah and Ange, for joining in and for coming tonight. I hope you got some of the book read. I know Sarah did. Sarah has read all her chapters. And Mary says, thanks, Alice and everyone. This was a pleasant surprise for my afternoon, and I will check out the links. Thank you, Mary. And Abby says, thanks for this lovely stream. Thanks, Abby. Thank you for coming. Yeah, so that's all I think today. So thanks everyone for coming to my first solo live show. Keep losing this earbud, so that's something I need to work on. So we've mentioned the other live shows. If you're interested in the human body science in any way, I really do think that this is a clear and fun book that you might enjoy. And as I say, there will be a review later on. I hope you read good stuff tonight. I hope you enjoyed the live, and please do consider leaving a like if you did. And all of the read along links, as I've said, are below, and I will see you very soon for another video. And I'm just catching up. So thank you. Thanks, everybody. And I will see you all again soon. Bye.